Okay, for Chapter 7, the second half of this deals with identifying motivating factors, important individuals from different generations, and 7.5 describe selected self-motivation strategies. So if we look at contemporary employee motivation strategies, I'm going to go through a number of them, but most of them deal, I guess the ones that come up deal mostly with job enrichment and job enlargement. So maybe be thinking of some examples of each of these design tools as I kind of describe them. But three things that companies can do to motivate employees. One is job rotation. Essentially allow employees to move through a variety of jobs over time. Job enrichment is an attempt to make a job more desirable and satisfying. What can you do to internally motivate a person by making working conditions better or giving perks? Job enlargement. What can you do to expand employees' duties or responsibilities? So you're challenging people. You're expecting them to do more and become better. One of the things that I think Walmart does very well is, they strongly encourage employees who go from checkout counter to management positions and onward. They really invest themselves on developing the whole employee, and they like to see their managers come from within their own system, and that's an example of job enlargement. So another thing is motivating through incentives. What might organization use as incentives, and why might they use them? And so they talk about this concept of entrepreneurship. Google is a great example of this, and I had just read an article, and I'm going to have to double check this because I don't know for sure, but they used to have a program what was called 20% time. So for every 4 hours that they spent on a Google project, they were required to work for 1 hour on their own pet project. And it really could be anything. It wasn't supposed to be related to work, but interestingly enough, some of Google's most successful products came out of this 20% time. Gmail came out of 20% time. The ads that generate 30% of Google's revenue came from 20% time. It was because Google said, we want you to play, we want you to tinker, we want you to have a lot of fun. And what would happen is their employees would then go play on these projects and bring them back, and they ended up making them a lot of money. So motivation through learning opportunities, education and training are critical, and that's going to help develop your employees more. So it's a great question here is, so why aren't all students motivated? Because there's all kinds of learning opportunities in school. Why aren't they being taken advantage of? Through empowerment. Basically making employees feel like they're heard. Give them authority and responsibility, and what that does is it gives employees a sense of ownership in the company. They care what I have to say, and that's going to make employees more motivated to show up every day. Others' expectations. Now there can be this Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect is essentially if employers think that their employee isn't very good, they're going to kind of get what they expect. Now the opposite can be true too, is if employers have high expectations for their employees, that brings out the best in employers. So it's really up to supervisors, and one of the factors that really influences how happy people feel about being in their jobs is the relationship they have with their direct manager, the person that they are directly responsible to. If that's a good, strong relationship, chances are employees are going to feel better about what they're doing and feel better about coming to work. So that's kind of an important lesson for later on in life. If you are in a position of being someone's manager, you can literally make or break someone's day. You could be the person that makes coming to work worthwhile. So that's something to kind of keep in mind as you move through life.